This week on D Space Pride, a gay Star Trek podcast, Mike and I talk about Star Trek Day and the shit show that it was. Plus, we talk about Lower Decks, Season 3, Episode 2. What's the name of the title, Mike?
Oh, I have no idea.
Thanks for joining us. Hey, Mike.
Hey, Johnson.
How's it going? No, you first.
It's going. I mean, happy Star Trek Day.
Happy Star Trek Day. Yes. It's also apparently Disney Plus Day.
Yes. I wonder what their day was like, because our day was...
I don't know. I don't know. I was too busy to care about either, to be honest.
Well, that's understood.
Yeah, Star Trek Day is just such a weird time. It happens in the middle of the workday, and I don't know how you all watch it. I'm like in meetings. I don't know how people are like actively tweeting about it.
Yeah, I mean, I would say a lot of people are probably definitely tweeting about it, but I would say that it's, yeah. I mean, if I didn't have the job I do, I wouldn't be able to watch it either. So, but I do. It's on my iPad while I'm doing other work, and
yeah, there's no way. I had like 3 meetings back to back.
Yeah, no. I mean, honestly, you didn't miss that much. I gave you like maybe 7-8 bullet points, and that was it.
Yeah.
And by bullet points, I mean like 4 words per bullet point, like no long explanation, like.
Yeah, you gave me like very high level, and then I was trying to also follow our Trek Geeks Slack messages, and it was kind of disjointed because I wasn't watching, so I didn't.
Yes,
I just got the sense that it was not going well, but I didn't quite know what was happening. So, do you want to kind of give me a more detailed rundown?
Yeah, sure. First I will say it was great having. I think it's Jackie Cox and Mary Chieffo on the purple carpet, which was...
Who's Jackie Cox?
She is a drag queen who's a very big Star Trek fan. And
oh, right. Heard about this. Is he or she? I don't even know. Is he? Does he go by he?
I
don't know what her pronoun is. I don't know this person. But in any case, they're from RuPaul, right?
Yes.
Or are they part of RuPaul's Drag Race?
Yes, they are part of RuPaul's Drag Race. Yeah, so they hosted the red carpet, which was really nice. What was interesting to me, that part of it was it wasn't like watching the Emmys or anything like that. So it was, which I think, honestly, Star Trek Day should take some cues from, and I think Paramount should pay the people who run the Emmys or even the Oscars
to run that kind of money.
Yes, they have that kind of money. My God, it's Paramount.
I don't know.
So I think they should do that. But anyway, that's
so
all.
No teen influencers this year, basically.
No that was influences. Yes, thank goodness for that. One lesson learned. We'll talk about some other lessons. I have notes.
Okay.
But so they were great on the purple carpet. Don't know why it's purple carpet either, but anyway, purple carpet.
Oh, it's purple. Interesting.
Yes. So they were great. They started out with Patrick Stewart, who is, and I love Patrick Stewart. This is Sir Patrick Stewart. I love him. Who's looking, he's looking his age,
right.
So, there's that. But, they started out by, giving condolences on the death of the Queen, which I thought was really on point for them.
Right.
But the other piece, so that was really nice. And they had some really great talks. The guy who played Cole was there. I can't think of his name.
Who?
I'm horrible with names.
No, Cole? Who's Cole?
Cole, Cole the Klingon, Mary Chieffo's son and
Oh,
enemy and
okay,
all of
okay,
that.
okay.
Ken, oh my gosh.
Ken Mitchell?
Thank you.
Oh
Yes.
my God.
You see, this is why you're around, because I cannot remember
Okay,
names.
okay.
I don't have the sheet in front of me, I don't have their
All right,
script,
so Ken
which
Mitchell was there.
Ken Mitchell was there. Stars from Strange New Worlds were there. Tawny, Frank Tatasciore, Paul F. Tompkins from Lower Decks.
Mm-hmm.
Noel Wells was there from Lower Decks. Let's see. Will Wheaton was there. So there were,
Right.
and then there was some legacy Trek. I think I saw Nicole DeBoer, Robert Picardo was there.
Oh, cool.
So, a few people like that. No one from the original series.
Bye.
And let's see, Next Generation. No one from the Next Generation. No one from Picard. Oh, Jerry Ryan was there. No one from, the Next Generation piece of Picard.
Right. I wonder
So,
why none of them are like really showing up at events. I mean, I know they're all elderly, but
yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. I mean,
no.
yes, I have speculations, but I do not. Um, But anyway, all that to say is that Mary Chieffo and Jackie Cox did a wonderful job on the purple carpet.
Mm-hmm.
But it was edited. You could tell that it was edited. Like it wasn't
Okay.
live, which I thought was interesting. So, um, they'd cut from one with a very short break and go to another one. So it wasn't, and
Mm-hmm.
you could tell it wasn't like the Emmys or the Oscars where,
Well, the amazing Oscars, they have a lot of reporters and they're kind of cutting in between them usually.
yeah. So yeah, it was, so that part was fine. They did that for about half an hour, and then
Mm-hmm.
Tawny and Paul F. Tompkins were the main hosts of the day,
Okay.
and they're fun and funny. Um, so yeah, there were a couple of glitches. There were like it would cut to black with no sound or whatever, like intermittently.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So, again, things like that, just, I don't know. And I'm not, I just feel like a media company, there are things that should not happen. And, things cutting to black all of a sudden just doesn't seem like it should be happening.
Right.
At times the show felt disjointed. It was like 2 hours and 15 minutes. I think they finished at like 5:15
Okay.
p.m. Eastern time. And there was just a lot of disjointment, which I think was less evident last year, but still evident.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just and
Yeah, I don't feel last year was too disjointed. I mean, I remember complaining about the teen influencers. We liked the music when the live orchestra. That was good
yeah.
last
So this
year.
year, yeah, I agree. I really like the live orchestra because one of the things. This is the thing, like Star Trek is part of the Star Trek experience is the music.
Sure.
The theme songs, the other incidental music that's really like best of both worlds, like the Borg and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
First Contact, which we just talked about
Yeah.
because of last week's or the first episode of the premiere of Lower Decks. So there's the orchestral music of Star Trek is really important, and so they had this DJ who was the exact opposite, like the other end of the spectrum. I guess
Oh God.
he's the DJ for the Late Late Show, and he was just beatboxing, and then there would be overhead
Oh
music.
God.
Then he would be beatboxing, and then there would be like overhead music that would kind of initiate the next part of the next segment or whatever. It was just very disjointed. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah. I
it's
saw
just
some slacks about the music and complaints about the music. So there was definitely that.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then there was a comedian that was very nervous or something. What were you talking about?
There was a comedian. He was sort of reading off his cards. He's a nice guy. No, I can't think of his name. I'm not that into comedy, but yeah, he was definitely nervous, and I'm not sure why. I mean, it's a small audience. Comedians get up on stage all the time. I don't know.
Mm.
I get it. It's a tough gig, and like in our chat, not ours, but the Greater Trek Geeks chat, you can't really do some of the things that comedians are known to do, which is make fun of.
Well, you can
things.
still make fun of the crowd, but do it in a way that is funny, and self-deprecating.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, but none of that happened. So, yeah, it's just, and I love Tani and Paul. I think they're great. I like them on the Pod Directive, which, by the way, is coming back in February 2023. The Pod Directive
so far away. Okay.
Yes. So there's that. That was one of the announcements.
Okay.
And then so let's get to the huge miss of this whole thing. So yesterday, right, they launched the Starship is landing.
Right. It was like
they have t-shirts. Supposedly there's like t-shirts and like posters and stuff on sale on StarTrek.com. And as far as I can tell, they never mentioned that once throughout the whole show. Mm-hmm. And I guess this morning, Pottery Barn Teen launched some things for that are Star Trek related, which some of them are,
Star Trek collab with Pottery Barn, which is an interesting choice, but sure.
Yeah, sure. So we don't know if that was the Starship landing or
I don't think so.
So it was just it was just really disjointed, and Tani and Paul. I honestly, my overall feeling is that I feel bad for the fans and I feel bad for the cast, because I don't think that this production, as it were, does either of them justice. It doesn't do us, the fans, justice. It doesn't do the cast and crew. I can't even imagine the insanity that goes on behind screen. It just seems very disorganized. Like, hire the right stage manager, like hire the right handlers for people. Like, it is a show. Like, honestly, like,
no, event production's hard, and if you don't do it right, it's a shit show.
Yeah.
You need the right people to execute it.
Yeah, I think, like, when I think obviously we're New Yorkers, and we think very differently about things than the West Coast does. And I think that for a show like this, you need like someone who's done like a fashion show. This is like a 2-hour like Emmy pre-show / fashion show, whatever. But you keep the energy going and you move it along, and you have the right people handling the talent, and you just are organized, and this is none of the Star Trek Day was none of that. And it hurts me to say that, it's not like I'm criticizing and hating it. I'm criticizing it because it can be so much better. Like, you're in Hollywood, you host the Oscars every year. Like, even if it were slightly pared down production staff from the Oscars, you could still put together a decent show.
Well, the thing is, this is very on brand for Paramount Plus.
I know. I know.
It's on brand. That's a problem. I think that if we were to poll the Trek Geeks network and ask, hey, was the actual execution of Star Trek Day surprising to you? I'm sure no one would be surprised. No one would say that this was surprising.
No, I was not surprised. I am coming.
I mean, it's disappointing, but it's not surprising, right? Like, it's on brand. That's the problem.
Yes, that is the problem.
Like, if Disney did something like this, I think we'd all be shocked.
Yes.
There's no way.
None. This is the whole thing. Like, Disney / Star Wars. I hate comparing Star Trek to Star Wars, but the way that Star Wars is handled from a PR perspective, and they've had their errors, but by God, they can put on a show that,
Right.
and I get it. Disney has more money than God, but Paramount is not a poor company.
Right.
And so it's just shocking and disappointing. Shocking, not shocking, not shocking. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
I feel this is the problem is I feel it's infused into almost the philosophy, right? Like the thing is, we complain about the app, but if they are okay with a shoddy app, then they're probably okay with a shoddy event. You know what I mean? Like, because if I was running this, I'll be like, no, there's no way that this is okay. And I'd rather just cancel the whole thing and let's do it virtually and let's just release a few trailers and make everyone excited than try to execute something that's half baked. But I feel that just based upon what we see with Paramount, Viacom, whatever they call themselves now, and even the app itself, it's like they're okay with it. So do you know what I mean? It's like the company culture is okay with like half-baked products and half-baked productions.
yeah,
That's the thing.
yeah.
Meanwhile, Disney and Marvel are probably the opposite. Like, because I read this article about how actually it's very difficult to work with Marvel because they're so particular. So they're probably the opposite end of the spectrum. They're perfectionists and they're probably too difficult to work with as a company, as a client. But that is another kind of company paradigm, right? Company philosophy where it needs to be perfect. It needs to run smoothly because the experience for the customer and for the fan is so important. So I think it's just a very different approach, like it's just, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's just, it is what it is, it's on brand. It's literally on brand.
It is, yeah. Well, so let's get into some of the news that was there. Obviously, the first thing was the Picard teaser trailer, which looks really great.
Yes, I saw it. It looks good.
And so we have Picard coming out February 16th, I think it was.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they can push it up a little bit more, but at least it's early next year.
Yeah, so there's that.
It does look great. Starbase One or whatever, Space Dock or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. I don't even know anymore. It looks great.
Yes. Yeah, I would agree. Yep. Space Dock looks amazing. The new Titan looks very retro.
Yeah, the Titan looks okay. I don't know if I love the Titan design, but it's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I do. It matches like what we saw on like Lower Decks, like more or less. Like it says.
Oh no, it's a completely new Titan.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. No, you're thinking about the other starships. No, at the end of the trailer when they're launching out of Space Dock, that is the Titan, and that is a new Titan. That is a whole new Titan.
Okay, I don't really love the old Titan or the new Titan then.
Yeah, I like the design of the new Titan because it looks very refit Enterprise or 1701A-ish, which I'm a huge fan of, which is my favorite design of all of the starships.
Okay, got it. I need to probably look at the trailer more carefully then, because I literally just saw on my IG stories.
Yeah, there's a lot of starships in it, so there's a lot to. But the end is when they launch the Titan and with Commander 7. So
Commander Hansen /7.
Yes. So that's news. So we have that. Yeah. We did see, Wilson Cruz did a great tour of Discovery, or not a great tour, but I would say a very.
It's more like BTS, right? As a BTS.
Yeah, behind the scenes for sure. Got to see Blue and Mary hanging out, which was cool to see Mary hanging out there because we've definitely missed Tilly a lot last season. So great to see, and they showed a behind the scenes of a scene on the bridge or whatever, and Tilly was on the bridge, so yay for that. Hugely excited about that. So I call that news. Tilly's back in Discovery season 5 more,
but who knows like how much and like to what extent. That's a problem.
Yeah, but hopefully a lot, because we missed her last season.
Yeah.
We get to see a scene from Prodigy, which is crazy.
I don't think I saw that one.
Oh yeah, so we get to see a scene from Prodigy when Admiral Janeway's ship catches up to the protostar, and so yes, so that was really cool. So there's that, and that's coming back. What did I say? I sent October 27th.
October 27th.
Yeah. So I didn't really do the math or the time frame, whether that's the end, like the week after Lower Decks premieres, or whether
you mean like when the finale is?
Yeah, I don't know if that's the next week or whether we're going to experience some gaps. But I didn't do the kind of.
I think it's the same day, actually.
Oh,
because today was episode 3, right?
Right. Yep.
Yeah. Yes, it's the same day.
So we're gonna have 2 episodes on the same day.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then, but we don't know how many or of what. We don't know if it's going to be 10. We don't know if it's going to be 5 again. We don't know anything. So we have that. We get to see the mainly women-led cast of Strange New Worlds, which is great because I love them all. We got a scene preview with Melissa Navios, Ortegas.
Yes, Ortegas. Yeah, I saw that.
So that was really cool. And then Rebecca Romaine introduced the new engineer. She didn't actually name the role that she was playing, but Carol Kane is coming on as the new chief engineer.
I really did not know. And then you were like, where was she from?
She played
the Princess Bride.
In The Princess Bride, she played the wizard's wife.
Okay.
Good luck storming the castle.
I mean,
is her famous line.
I didn't like The Princess Bride, and that was in the 80s?
Sure. It was a long time ago. Anyway.
It was a long time ago.
So we have that. Let's see. So we got to see a scene that I have not seen yet from Lower Decks, which is kind of interesting. I
saw that.
That's later in the season, and I don't really understand it. So,
are you talking about the one with the Romulans?
Yes.
It's like part 2 of that, like to the whatever the movie. What's it called?
Oh, is it?
The Rise of Benedicta, whatever. It's like the quote unquote sequel or something like that.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I'm trying to find it on my IG feed and I'm failing. So
no, that's okay. I did not know. There was no context given, and it wasn't said that would be the sequel, but now it makes sense because of who the captain was of the Enterprise E ship that comes to save the day at the end. So that was interesting. So that makes sense now, because they named the captain and then Boimler showed up and I was like, what? So
it's basically as a holodeck fantasy.
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
So there's that. So we went over Picard, Strange New Worlds. So Nicholas Myers came out onto stage very awkwardly. I think it would, I again, just the way that they do these things, it just is underwhelming. Is part of the issue like the transitions or something? I mean, definitely the transitions, but Nicholas Myers, they just introduced him with a voiceover, and Nicholas Myers was out there by himself talking about how he had written a 3-hour treatment for Khan that talks about the 15 years that he spent on SETI Alpha 5. And so I think they announced that right alongside of, or near the podcast announcement for the Pod Directive. So, so there's going to be a podcast version of that may lead into other things. Who knows? So, I mean, this may be, I love Wrath of Khan. Don't get me wrong. I love it. We watched it, and we'll talk about that in a little bit.
We watched it. That's right. We watched it a few days ago.
Yeah, we went to see it in theaters. In the theater. So, I love that movie, but I have no real interest or desire to talk about or to hear about 15 years on a planet that gets its orbit shifted and its survival. Like
I don't really find that compelling.
Yeah.
So, of content.
Yeah.
Because we know that there will be no interaction with anyone from Starfleet unless there's some weird twist or something. But as far as we know, there isn't.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, what happens?
Yeah, exactly. So I never really got into the con novels. There were a couple of, con novels in the novel verse, the literverse or whatever. So anyway, they're doing a podcast version of that, which of course I'll give it a listen. Maybe it'll be probably,
I'm sure I'll listen to it. I listen to the podcast, so
I think it will be maybe. Yeah, so there's that. I think that's everything, right? Did I miss any of the shows? They did not announce any new shows.
That's the thing. I was thinking that they would announce a new show, given how many rumors and things in development there have been. So, I guess not.
Yeah.
With Picard ending, they're losing one of their flagship shows. So I thought that they would announce something, even if it's early, to kind of replace Picard. So that was surprising to me.
Yeah, I mean, whatever show it is or shows, they have to be in some stage of pre-production at this point.
I would expect so, yeah.
So, all right.
And Kurtzman has teased plenty. I mean, was it at when did he tease it? What was the last big?
It was First Contact Day.
Oh, First Contact Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. He definitely did some teasing.
Yes.
So I'm surprised that there wasn't something more formal in terms of follow-up, but here we are.
Yeah. Yeah. So there was not, and it was kind of unfortunate. There was no big announcements. So yeah.
Well, at least you have dates.
Yeah, and the other thing I think I love when Tani and Paul do some ad-libbing, which is totally understandable because they're great at that. But I feel like the questions that they ask the cast, Babs was there. I'm not even going to try to say his last name, who plays Benga. But the questions that they ask, it seems like they're a surprise to the cast, and like the cast really hasn't given them any thought or whatever. So, were
they hard questions?
So no, they're not. They're not hard questions. But if you get caught off guard, and I guess also in the culture that that we're in, not we're in, but that the Star Trek universe is in, is we don't talk about spoilers or whatever. We don't spoil things. But I think you get the questions and you have the producers help prime the there's just stuff you can do to prepare the talent so it looks a little more polished, and so they're ready to talk about things and be a part of it. So anyway, more notes, but
that's surprising.
Unfortunately it ended. I think I've hit all the main points. I think I've hit all the shows. So yeah. Paramount can do there can be better.
They can do better.
They can do better.
They can do better. It sounds like.
Yes. So anyway, so that's Star Trek Day recap.
Yeah, well, happy Star Trek Day.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited to see season. I think Picard was the big reveal. I think for me, the big other reveal, aside from the scenes that they showed, was seeing Tilly back on the bridge of the Discovery.
Sure,
which is great. So I think those are two of the big things that are on my radar. And I'm of course ready for more Prodigy. That's always fun and interesting. But here we are. So
here we are.
So we also a couple of days ago went and saw Wrath of Khan in the movie theater.
It was good. I was sleepy. I got sleepy during the battle in the nebula. I got tired for some odd reason. That's when I got very tired and I nodded off for a little bit. But otherwise, I was awake for the whole day. I mean, like, don't get me started on the motion picture. I mean, I was asleep for like half of that. That was tiresome. But this was definitely much more compelling. I will, after watching it again, I will reiterate that I think Star Trek 6 is still my favorite. I think that it is it's a good movie, but kind of like, there's just it is a very over dramatic film. There's, Khan is very dramatic, and he pulls in other people to be dramatic along with him. And it's just like, it's kind of like a soap opera. And it's just not a very nuanced film for me. I do like, and we've talked about it before, but I do like the through line of Kirk facing his mortality and all that. I think that is very effective and that runs well. And it ties the entire movie together really well, even Spock's death. But I think that, Star Trek 6 is just so much more nuanced. It's just so many more layers to it.
Well, I love Star Trek too. It is, and probably will always be my most favorite film of the original series movies. So, hearing the music in the theater was really cool. Although I do think it was slightly too loud. That was my only annoyance of the whole thing. It was just slightly too much, kind of overwhelming at times. But I loved hearing the music in person in such an environment. It was really good. And I love the cut of it. I don't think we saw the 4K version of it.
I don't think it was. No, they didn't upscale it, or they didn't remaster this.
Yeah, they didn't. Well, I thought that aren't they releasing a 4K version of Wrath of Khan?
Are they?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just confusing that with the motion picture 4K version. But anyway, you could tell on screen that there were parts that were really kind of grainy when it's
it was
that
fuzzy,
big,
for sure,
that big. So hopefully, if they haven't done a 4K or a restore of it, I would hope that they would, because it would probably, I would go back and watch it again for sure if they did that. But it was just really great to see it on the big screen. I don't think I've ever seen it that big before.
No, it's the first time for me, for sure.
And I've seen it, probably at least 100 times. Like, it's a movie that I watch a lot.
That's a lot.
I mean, I love it. I love this film. I think it's just like the pace of the movie, the setup. There are a few things, that like Khan never met Chekhov.
Sure.
In Space Seeds. So there are a few things, but it's just a great overall film, and it was really, really cool to see it in the big screen. So that was a lot of fun. That was definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, it was worth going for sure. Yeah, it was good, and it's rare for us to have the opportunity to watch like a Star Trek movie in theaters, so it was totally worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was fun. So we've had a lot of Star Trek this week. Including, today there was a new episode of Lower Decks,
which we'll talk about
next week. But we're going to go back to episode 2, which now I do have the name in front of me.
Yes, I have the name as well. The least dangerous game. Yes.
So if you listen to our opening, you'll know that I didn't know the name of it.
I forgot to, and I wasn't prepared.
A little comedy bit with it, and here we are. Let's
the least dangerous game.
Let's talk about Lower Decks.
Yes.
I am a proud soldier of the Klingon Empire!
Shut up! Stupid Ferengi program!
Warrior, fight to the last breath!
Easy for you to say. I'm not a Klingon. I tried to be bold today, but I just ended up as prey.
The only way you can lose now is by letting your foe define who you are. Never back down. Never cower.
The hunt is on.
Cringe! I am not your prey. I am Bold Boimler. I haven't backed down all day, and I'm not starting now. You better run, because now the hunted has become... Oh my God! No!
The hunted always tries to become the hunter. Tale old as time.
Oh, no. I didn't say you could kill me. Stop, please.
And with that, my hunt has ended.
Yeah, you're not gonna kill me?
True Sapiens practice catch and release. We respect life above all else. That's why we hunt.
Oh, thank God.
You were excellent prey, but I do have notes.
Cool. Well, Mike, you had watched this episode quite some time ago when we got the screeners, so you had to rewatch it. What did you think?
This is a Boimler and Mariner heavy episode. This is the beginning of the Bold Boimler, like whatever. I don't know if it's, an arc or a character arc or whatever it is, but
I don't know
where he's, and correct me, the whole thing that started this, right, was the Venom, or who's captain now of a starship. But I can't remember if we've seen. We must have seen him in a previous.
Yeah, when they brought him up, I did not. It didn't ring any bells for me.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So that causes Brad to go on this new Bold Boimler, say yes to everything kind of thing, and it sort of crescendos with this whole hunt thing with Cranch, which I think is a really cool alien.
Yeah, Cranch is a cool alien. I liked the creature design. Yeah.
So there's that, and then we've got Mariner and Jack on the space elevator,
right?
That Rutherford and Billups should be working on, but Jack is trying to teach her a lesson. And the lesson is, right, trust your superiors. So,
right.
I think we get to see, I actually like this dynamic. I like that Mariner's sort of like being controlled a little bit more. Like Jack is in charge of her future in Starfleet, and she needs to behave herself. And yet she still doesn't, and has to like climb up the space elevator and do all this. And, so it's just, I just think it's a great kind of arc for Mariner as well.
The thing that kind of bothered me a little bit about that was, Jack it got annoying a little bit how insistent he was that they stick to the two of them fixing the elevator, and that Rutherford and Billups stick with trying to play diplomat, because it was obvious that it wasn't. Like, I feel that if Jack was actually right, and Mariner was wrong, and Mariner actually learned a lesson in respecting authority or something like that, like it just went down so far this path where Jack was getting gratingly like on my nerves. Like it was just like, because he's so wrong, and he was just being so stubborn about it because he wanted to teach Mariner a lesson, but he was also risking a diplomatic event to do it. I feel went a little bit too far. I mean, overall, I did like the episode quite a bit. I liked it more than the season opener, actually. But Jack was kind of annoying. Like I mean, it was kind of, it became like a comedy of errors. But it was ultimately not a good look for Jack, for Ransom to, like, as a commander, to kind of be dealing with, or the way that he dealt with the whole situation. It was very just childish. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he was just being like a bully. Like, that's what, at the end of the day, that's what it kind of netted out to. Like, he was just trying to be like a bully, and he was trying to throw his weight around, but at the expense of the mission and the good of the people that were under his care. You know what I mean? Like, it just got kind of, I don't know, it got on my nerves a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I can totally see that, because I think I agree with that. I think, but this kind of goes back to like almost a season 1 impression of the command staff, right?
Mm-hmm.
That the lower decks are stars, and the bridge crew, the command crew is sort of the B characters, and it just seemed like the command crew were always getting into trouble, and it was actually the lower deckers who, for better or for worse, had to deal with the trouble that was caused by all of that. So I felt like that almost was a callback to that a little bit. Like,
yeah.
I also think that, it was, he was being a little bit extra to, again, this isn't probably very far away from the season opener, right? Where he was handed the responsibility of Mariner. So I still think that this is sort of like coming about, I guess, like figuring out this dynamic and whether this is going to work out or not for Mariner,
right?
Which, I mean, obviously it will, but to some extent. But yeah, I just hope for the rest of the season. And honestly, I can't remember the rest of the season that I've watched so far. I really can't. So, which is why I rewatched these, because I did watch these a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope that it doesn't play out the whole season in this way.
Yeah. And, I hope once in a while Jack is right, and that Mariner can actually learn from him, but that might be asking her too much. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We'll have to wait and see. But
because, there was that episode.
I thought the hunt.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. I was going to talk about.
No, because there was that one episode, it was in season 1, where they were both stuck in that alien prison cell, remember? And that's when they also kind of had the weird sexual chemistry.
Yes.
But then from what I recall about the episode, like Ransom was able to like get them out of that situation. And I think Mariner was surprised that he kind of knew how to handle it. And I think that obviously at the end of the day here, he does something similar. Like he just like rips off his shirt and is able to like, parlay or whatever. But I feel that Mariner has always kind of looked down a little bit on Ransom. Like it's always been very contentious. And I feel that for me, like similar to what I was saying last episode, it's time for that to evolve a little bit. It would be good for them to, and I think by the end of this episode, they kind of, there was a little bit of that, a little bit of that respect, right? Like they kind of left off with that, where Mariner was saying, went to Jack's quarters and was like, yeah, like, you handled it well, whatever, like that. But I feel that it would be nice if that kind of lasted, if that sentiment kind of lasted and they were actually able to evolve their relationship.
Yeah, I don't disagree. We'll have to see what happens. I honestly don't remember what happens. So,
okay. Well, there we are.
But
what were you saying about the hunt? Sorry.
Oh, I thought it was, Boimler screaming is just,
I love Boimler screaming.
Yes, it's just great. But I also liked how it ended, where he, and then, I love the comment, because obviously we say this all the time, but Cranch tells Boimler, "I have notes," and I thought that was
so funny.
Yeah,
oh my god,
that was hilarious. So
I have feedback. Yeah, I've always had feedback.
Yes, so I thought that was really great. But how the prey always gets that feeling, and then he tells him, "You just can't announce it, and I have other notes for you."
Yeah,
so,
that's fantastic.
Yeah, I thought that was just really great. And the fact that, Boimler gets stabbed in the shoulder, but it looked like his heart, It
was like his upper chest or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't look comfortable.
It did not. Well, and he even came back when they were playing the Klingon game at the end, that the doctor said his shoulder might never be the same again.
There might be permanent nerve damage.
Which I kind of feel like in the 24th century, is that really going to be the case? But anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, if Worf can get back up and walk the next episode after wanting to die, maybe Boimler cannot have a shoulder injury.
Right.
But yeah, I did enjoy this. Definitely, those were the 2 stars. Tandy and Rutherford didn't really have. They had very supporting
it was very
roles here.
CD list.
Yeah,
for them, unfortunately.
But
yeah, I like it when. I mean, I'm interested to know if this will stick, like Bold Boimler. It probably won't because this is basically like a sitcom. But we've gone down this path, not exactly, like a Boimler kind of situation, but we've gone down this path where Boimler gets very, he gets very in the zone about something, and he will go, he'll dial up to 100, and he just fixates, right? Like that's very much his personality. So we've had instances like this where he'll just he wants to get promoted, or he'll be very insistent on this is his end goal, so he'll do everything he can to get it done. So it is kind of I feel going back to that a little bit when it comes to his character. But I did appreciate the again, more comedy of errors in terms of the kind of situations saying yes to things puts him in.
Yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed this episode overall, and yeah, I don't really have any notes like we did for Mike McMahon on the.
We definitely have more notes for the premiere.
Really?
Yeah.
So yeah.
I did like the Klingon Dungeons and Dragons. That was fun.
Yeah.
And it was great to get Martok back.
Yeah.
That was pretty fantastic. It was There were a lot of great lines from that.
Yeah, it was really really cool to have him back, and
I would play that board game.
Yeah. I mean, it's like Dungeons and Dragons. It looked pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. Oh, and that's right. Going back to Star Trek Day really quickly, they're having Mirror Wesley on Star Trek Online. They're doing this whole new campaign starting in a couple weeks called Star Trek Online Ascension, and it's like Wesley is leading an army from the Mirror universe into, I don't know.
Whoa.
I don't know too much about Star Trek Online. So, but they showed we've seen the screenshot of Mirror Janeway, and they showed I think even a Mirror Ilea, which was interesting. So and they also did a little bit of prosthetics work on Star Trek Day, which was kind of interesting. They made this woman who was dressed as the Romulan commander from the Enterprise incident in TOS. They actually put on like ridges and ears on her backstage in like 15 minutes. So the makeup guy from Star Trek was there did that. So that was kind of interesting. And then they did a mini cosplay like parade. They brought up 3 other people who were dressed up in really cool. There was an Ilea, there was a Garth, I think, and then there was someone who actually really looked like Admiral Kirk from The Wrath of Khan. It's kind of funny. So so that also happened on Star Trek Day as my mind gets jogged.
As your mind gets jogged. Nice.
So yeah.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Anything else about this episode?
No, I mean, it's just, it was a good comedic, fun, distracting episode of Lower Decks. I mean, par for the course, I feel like.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Enjoyed for what it was, and we'll see if any of it sticks.
Right. Whether Bold Boimler continues, and what Mariner's life is like in with Jack.
Oh.
So there was no interaction really with her and her mom in this episode. It's all her and Jack. So that's interesting as well. So yeah, we'll kind of see what happens. Next week, I think Tendi gets, starts her science career on the, science training. And I don't even know what the rest of the episode is about. Oh, these rocks, right?
Yes, the rocks that bring to life their fantasies or nightmares.
Yes. Right, exactly. Yes. So yeah. So yeah, pretty full Star Trek day.
Very full Star Trek week.
Yes.
For us.
You're right. Yes, it was a very full Star Trek week.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So speaking of which, on non-Star Trek stuff really quickly, I am rewatching The Expanse. I think I told you this, and I'm just enjoying the heck out of it. So I felt like with what are we watching? We watched The Sandman. We watched The House of Dragons, right?
House of the Dragon.
House of the Dragon. And I'd also been rewatching some Game of Thrones.
Oh, right. That I remember. I remember, you mentioning you were rewatching Game of Thrones from season 1.
So I was kind of in need of some sci-fi, some solid sci-fi-ness. And so I decided to start rewatching Expanse.
Yeah, The Expanse is one of the best sci-fi shows in the last decade.
And I have not yet watched the Lord of the Rings premiere yet either.
Oh, it was okay. I watched both of those episodes in one sitting. It wasn't bad. I enjoyed it. It was a fun romp.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I still have that to watch. Yeah. Cool.
Well, I think that does it for this week's discussion, which, we covered a lot. Mike, did you want to talk a little bit about our sponsor?
Sure. Fansets is the premier sponsor of the Trek Geeks Podcast Network and Deep Space Pride. Head on over to Fansets. They've got a ton of new pin collectibles. They've got all the deltas from Strange New Worlds. They've got the delta from Prodigy. They've got the whole Prodigy crew, and then some new women of Trek, including, Devana Tendi, Shana from the original series, which I don't know the reference for her. Is. To be honest, Jet Reno, and then a very special Women of Star Trek Captain Michael Burnham Vegas limited edition, as well as a Vegas poker chip, Lieutenant Mariner poker chip. So head on over to Fansets and check all of that out. Their work is so amazing, and the team there is incredible. You're going to love whatever you put into your cart. If you put more than $30 into your cart, you're going to get free shipping in the US. And if you use the code TrekGeeks, all one word, all caps, you're going to save 10% on your order. And we want to thank Fansets for being the premier sponsor of Deep Space Pride and the Trek Geeks Podcast Network.
Thanks, Fansets. All right. Well, that does it for this episode. We love to hear from you. If you want to reach out to us, you can reach out to us on social media, on Twitter and Instagram at Deep Space Pride. And you can also email us at deepspacepride@gmail.com. And Mike will get back to you if you do.
There you go.
Cool. All right. Episode 96 in the can. Inching closer to 100. We're almost there.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. We'll try to make it special. TBD. More info to come.
Yes. But that's it. Yeah. We've had a busy Star Trek week, and now we're going to take a break. Well, I mean, we'll be back here next week to talk about more Lower Decks, but maybe the starship is landing will be revealed.
I really don't know what that's about. So hopefully we will.
I don't think anyone
out. Or
does.
Maybe not at all. maybe we will never find out. Wait, did you see that on social? Like, what was it on?
No, I get an email from StarTrek.com from their merch.
Oh, I don't think I even get those emails.
Yeah.
I should probably sign up, right?
You should probably sign up, yeah. I mean, like today is 25% off everything on StarTrek.com. So for Star Trek Day. So
All right.
Yeah. All right.
Cool.
Well, thanks everybody for listening, and we'll see you here next week.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Deep Space Pride is a production of Coconut Media Works. Executive producers Bill Smith and Dan Davidson. For more great Star Trek discussion, discover the other shows of the Trek Geeks Podcast Network at trekgeeks.com or find us in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app.